In 2022, I gone through something that was pretty difficult for me to go through. It was my first ever relationship and it ended, and it was a big deal for me. I do not know how to communicate bad feelings. I do not know how to communicate when I'm feeling upset or communicate that I need help in any kind of way. So a lot of the time I deal with things on my own, which is why art for me is more of a therapeutic outlet for me, and I tend to do it when I feel the worst. Because it's really all I have to communicate. You can kind of see the trends and the differences between when I'm feeling okay when I'm versus when I'm feeling not. Back then, when I first went through this really very hard experience for myself, the first time I've ever been through it, the only thing I knew how to do was to do art. And this is the first time that I've ever used it for that reason, because again, up until this point, I've been just doodling just for the hell of it. You know, it wasn't until I actually went through something that was like very difficult that I was like, okay, maybe I should start utilizing this for more than that. I feel like art is a reflection of your mental state. A lot of things are a reflection of your mental state. How you talk and act and what you do or make even is something that is very reflective of what's going on in there. It's the only way you can express yourself. It's the only way that you can prove that, you know, something is working up in here. I put on Intergalactic, took a few hits, and I was like, okay, let's see what the fuck's gonna come out of this. And this showed up. It really did help me a lot to create something that cool. So thank you, Intergalactic, and thank you to Kid Cudi. Shout out to you. For making something so cool and inspiring someone who was really down on their luck at that point in time. This was big for me. This was massive for me, and I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever created. And up until this day, it just holds so much more worth and meaning because I look at it and I know exactly what I was thinking. I know exactly what I was looking at. I know exactly, like, there were so many things that come to mind, and there's so many feelings that come to mind that I feel again when I look at it. And that's when I realized, okay, this is probably the meaning of art. This is probably why people do it. This is probably why it means a lot for a lot of people. This is probably why people go to galleries. It's probably why, like, it just clicked really intensely for me. I haven't drawn her in a while. I think I tend to go back to her when I feel directionless in life. A lot of things happen, especially when you're in your early 20s. I am aware that there are a lot of things that happen that make you like question your path, make you question your relationships all around you. Experience a lot of pivotal moments, and I am very aware of this and trying to deal with this in the best way possible. And that makes sense as to why I would, revisit this, because, I was also going through a pivotal moment in my life during the creation of this character that kind of birthed a bunch of other characters after it, different variations. My love for art kind of exploded from it was birthed from that drawing. I'm pointing to it because it's right there on my wall. And I don't like naming her. I don't like putting her in a box because I think she symbolizes freedom in that way. Like freedom to the truest sense of the word. It doesn't matter that things are so blurry and you have no idea what to do and you have no idea where to go from here. The point is, the possibilities are endless, and you could, at the drop of a hat, like right now, go and do something, go explore, go move. You don't understand how much free will you actually have until everything falls apart. And if you don't let that consume you, you could go somewhere with that. Unless you actually like get up and go outside, it's not really something that you think can be applied to you specifically. I'm talking to you. Since I'm in somewhat of a similar place mentally, I am revisiting this character again. Now, I have an actual black canvas this time, and I started so far on it, and I'm just going to be doodling this while you watch, I guess. Here she is in all of her glory. Tentacles weren't flowing, but it looked like it came from the center of her head, which I really appreciate. I really like the science of tentacles, tentacle science, if you will. Gotta turn into red. So it's blue that turns into red. The sadness that turns into anger, if you will, if you want to get all technical about it. Blue and red, blue and red. What is blue and red? The fire stick popsicle or something. This color will single-handedly bring this whole thing together. Watch. Damn! It's like a reflection. It's like a mirror. I find similarity in it, even though it is a very crazy and, it is a crazy thing. Anytime that I use these metallic markers, it just looks like a pool of water came out instead, and it makes me angry. How watery it looks? I even switched out the tip. I reversed it, and it's still doing it. There's 2 years between this drawing on the left and the drawing on the right. I just made this one yesterday. You guys were there along for the process. And there's a few changes. First of all, there's no eye in the center, right? The center of her chest. And I believe that this is the case. I put eyes in her eye sockets. It's very subtle, but you can see it right there. I brought this photo with me to therapy one time, and she was pointing out a lot of different things that were happening in this piece that I wasn't even aware of the significance until she brought them out. Because of course, again, art is in the eye of the beholder, or beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and anyone can take anything from any piece, you know? Putting an eye over the chest is kind of like having the heart see the world. Not everything has to be super emotional, but not everything has to be black and white either. You can kind of have a middle ground here. The blue to red signifies sadness to anger, almost, of feeling all the overflowing emotions. As you can tell with her face, she is having more of a relaxed smile, more of a smile on her face than an uptight, powerful expression. What this means basically is that I just learned how to do facial anatomy a little bit more than 2022. A lot of the differences is, you know, skills developing and me learning a little bit more than I used to. And then also, you know, maybe a little bit of hints of deeper meanings here and there. Like the little squiggles on the sides here, kind of signifying the undoing of the tentacles, undoing of emotions. The suction cups, please take mine of the suction cups. I really like it. I really like this piece. And I think I'm gonna add more to the backgrounds because I like making it seem like she's in the sky. But I wanted to really show off what I did here and the differences between this and my other piece on the wall. As you can see, there's a lot happening here in the background and nothing really happening to her face. And you know, albeit I have a really bad time drawing faces, or more so back then than now, but there is something to be said about how I added more details to the face, to the chest in the new painting versus the old one. And that is nice. It's nice to redraw your stuff from the past and compare it to the present. Even if the differences are subtle, it is very good and very nice to see them. Merry Christmas, guys. If you're spending it alone, trust me, I've been there. Loneliness is where you find a lot of yourself. Trust me. So take advantage of this opportunity. Do it for the love, not for the fame. Do it for the love of the game, baby. And do it for the love of for yourself, for crying out loud. Like, just do shit because you want to, and do it because you love it. Because you love yourself, baby. You love yourself. And even if you don't, you just fucking fake it till you make it. I guess is really the best thing I could do for you. It's the best thing I could give you. Draw more monsters. Drawing challenge of the week is draw a monster. Draw a freak. And then send it to me on Instagram. Smedgy18 on Instagram, please. I want to see it. And let me know if you're from YouTube. I would love talking. I would love talking to you guys. I want to see your monster creations because I love monsters. I love monsters. I love monsters. I love monsters. I love them. Do you see the monsters on my wall? Do you see how many of these motherfuckers are here? Let's go over here. Oh, monsters. Monsters. I just fucking love. Look, it's Spider-Punk. Goodbye. Goodbye. Jesus, goodbye. Goodbye, precious. Say goodbye, precious.